Can you hear me clearly? Yes. No? Hello? Hello, hello, hello. I am still putting myself together. Let me see if I can get this going. Apple Blossom, beautiful soul. Your Majesty has arrived. I hope you're feeling okay. Let me, hold on. Let me sort myself out. Can you see me? You can see me. Okay, I gotta do something with this camera. I feel like I'm staring everywhere but at you guys. Yeah. Happy Sunday. I hope you're feeling better, Apple. I should have taken a nap. Like, I didn't take one yesterday. I didn't take one today. Ugh. Crusty and crabby. But I'm going to accept that I need to do better. There you go. Oh, there's my alarm going off. Let me just turn off all of that. Close this. Close that. It's hard. Yeah, you didn't nap either, right? Yeah. The day is kind of, I don't even know what the day just did something. it just kind of, yeah, it just kind of vanished. Relaxed mood. Hello, love. I saw you in the other channel. You're a March baby as well. Did I read that right? Yes, I was being nosy. See what happens when you alert? You try to catch all these things that's happening. Yes, relaxed mood. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. This is Behind My Smile, and the topic today is acceptance. And I'm in acceptance that I made a bad decision by not catching an afternoon nap. That's where I am. Charmaine, welcome in, beautiful soul. Happy Sunday. We are live on Twitch. We are live on YouTube. I don't even have YouTube open, so I will have to rely on people typing, and I can see it here in a dual scene. How's everyone doing? How's your Sunday? How was your weekend? Hold on, let me turn this down before this starts playing loudly. We're not going to stay long tonight. I'm saying that now. That's the goal. That's the hope. We're going to bond a little bit. And then hopefully, oh yeah, okay, I can see it. There we go. Okay, so that's live. We'll bond a little bit and then wrap it up and call it an evening. And then I probably still will not go to bed early because that's just kind of how it goes. So while everybody's still getting nestled in, finding their way here, following breadcrumbs, because I know I didn't see a notification go off. So I'm hoping that other people did get a notification. Sorry. Yeah, you missed your nap too. What was it today? Like I literally blinked. It was like 2 o'clock at one point. I'm just like, I have the whole day ahead of me. And then the next thing I knew, like it was like 5:30. I'm just like, okay, well, I don't know what happened. I could not tell you what I did in that time span. No clue. No clue. T.E. Dennis, welcome in. Welcome in. Saw your photos on Instagram. You had a beautiful birthday party with family. That is awesome. I just want to check and see if my mic needs to be adjusted. If I can hear myself. Oh, no, that's not. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Sorry about that, folks. Oh, am I pressing? Nope, not even pressing the right button. Oh, I do sound pretty. Okay, I sound pretty clear. All right. Okay. I think the other day I was a little low. Big sis Miriam, welcome in, welcome in. So T.E. Dennis, the pictures that I saw, you have a budding, is it your goddaughter? That is photography. She's taking the torch. Was it all family and some friends? Did you stay indoors and do your party? The cake looked nice. I wouldn't mind having a slice of cake right about now. I need some sugar. Okay, so while we're getting situated, let me do some housekeeping. Interesting. I had to make a list. Like, yeah, I had to write it down because my brain isn't here today. So if I'm spacing your grandniece, I knew I read something with the, yeah. That's beautiful. And the fact that you're passing the torch, you're teaching her, you're guiding her, you're mentoring her. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I had to write stuff down. And I don't know if it's because I didn't get the nap, but my day today has been thrown off. My energy feels wonky. The more I think about talking about acceptance is the more things are just kind of unraveling. So made some notes, and it really is all the housekeeping stuff. For those of you, you all know that Apple Blossom is the most well-behaved one between the two of us. Your Majesty Apple, as always, thank you. Thank you for supporting me. Even when you are unwell, yes, I'm calling you out. If at any point you do not feel well enough to be here with us actively, please just put up your feet, close your eyes, and just kick back and relax. You know what I mean? So let me do this because I never give her a proper shout out and she still loves me anyways. Those of you who are not already doing so, please follow my mod, Apple Blossom, the beautiful soul that supports me and keeps me, she keeps me going in and out of stream. Yeah. Sometimes there's a bombastic stare down as well, but there's always love between us. I really appreciate you, Apple. I don't think I say it enough, in or out of stream. Okay, so officially, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. Today is officially Behind My Smile. It is now on a Sunday. Friends and family and friends we haven't seen in a long time. You know, that's when it's just like, it's been 6 years since I've been able to celebrate, no hospitals. See, and that's, yeah, that's it right there, right? You're in a scenery that you want to be in. And you're able to enjoy and celebrate the way you want to celebrate. That is the beautiful thing. So this is for you. Why is my alarm about to go off again? But I'm sending this to you. That is for you. From me straight to you. And I look forward to us meeting one of these days. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. So Sunday, Mr. Feel Soul, good evening. It's so nice of you to join us. Exclamation mark Feel. Thank you very much, Apple. Those of you who are not already doing so, please be sure to follow I Am Feel Soul on Instagram. The Forever Interlude drops on December the 14th. There will be some early drops that will be coming up. Official announcements will be coming. Follow him on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram if you're not already doing so. Follow me on YouTube. What else is there? Follow me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I'm going to talk about Facebook in a minute. Yeah, T.E. Dennis. And I think, you know, I'm always genuine about that. I'd love to give you a few extra hugs, but I might squeeze you and put you in a hospital. So I'm just going to give you that one just to kind of keep you enjoying your birthday celebrations outdoors. So Sundays, Behind My Smile. Today we're going to be talking about acceptance. It's a loaded word and it can mean so much to so many people. So we're going to dive into it in a couple minutes. We're not staying long tonight. I am off balance of sorts. So I don't know, maybe we'll make it to an hour. Apple, I'm going to try to figure out who's around. So if I send you the bat signal, we can just raid out. I'm fine. I just, yeah. Today's one of those days where I'll get into it. So looking at my notes, where do I want to go first? Let me do this. I'm not sure she's going to be here today because she's not feeling well. However, this Tuesday, I am going to be a part of and let me just hide Miss T.E. Dennis's comment. So this Tuesday, I will be a part of Kicks by Six, first mental health Drop the Mic raid. We'll all be celebrating and talking. Yeah, you can tell I miss the nap, eh? The nap really escaped me, Feel Soul. Like I'm feeling it heavy right now. So this Tuesday, I will be here on Twitch. I think I'm going to live stream it on YouTube as well, just so it's there. Tasha P, welcome in. I am going to be streaming it here on Twitch and also on YouTube. And it is Kicks by Six first ever Drop the Mic raid, and the focus is on mental health. All of us are streamers. There'll be no music. We'll all be conversating in regards to mental health and what it means to us. We're all going to have our own topic and vibe. I've been talking about soul wellness, which is a part of mental health. It's a whole package for me. I've been talking about this from I turned on this channel and started talking about Behind My Smile officially. And it was coming up in the in conversations with DJs. So I am on at 7. Six Boss starts at this alarm. Six Boss starts this raid at 11 a.m. Eastern. Sorry, I am on at 7. She's on at 11. And 7:13 is another one who's a regular here. She'll be on at 6. There's a few other names I see here that I kind of know. Scotian Sugar, she's a regular in our community. Black Girl Gamer, but I've never actually been in their streams. So it'll be nice to check them out. So again, this Tuesday, starting at 11 a.m. and I will be there at 7 for 1 hour. On Wednesday that just passed, I was spouting on the mouth about I'm going to be popping up and doing whatever. I don't know what I'm doing. So you see me today, you'll see me on Tuesday, and technically you don't see me again until next week, Sunday. I may pop up on this coming Wednesday. It is my birthday. Yes, I'm saying it loud because people are under this false conception or idea that the birthday raid that I'm going to put up the flyer soon is my actual birthday. It's not. This Wednesday, It is my birthday. I am a Sagittarius. Clarify that. I am not a Scorpio. Clarify that. I may pop up. I'm not entirely sure. Is this going to be a vibe and flow that's going to make me determine if I'm going to pop up or not? There won't be any grandiose topic. It really is just to say hi and socialize with the people with my 50-year-old self. Yeah, that part. So let me put the flyer up while I'm talking officially. So on November the 29th, the following Wednesday, it will be the Born for Music Raid Volume 8. It will have Team Shelling, Selected Jinx, Chris Stubbs, DJ Smiles, and DJ Swirls. Olax, my neighbor, welcome in, welcome in. Maya Youngster, welcome in, welcome in. I'm just doing some housekeeping stuff before we dive into conversation. So as I was saying, this Wednesday, I may show up and do a pop-up. That's my official birthday. Next week, Wednesday, is the official Born for Music Raid, birthday raid party. I'd love it if everybody can show up, participate, socialize, do your thing. Maya Youngster, thank you for giving her that shout out. I'm just going to double check because I'm not sure why I have so many alarms going off on my phone to remind me to be here on time, like I'm here, right? So today, we're going to talk about acceptance. Tuesday, we're going to talk about mental health. I kind of know what I'm going to talk about. It really is in line with what I'm doing here on a Sunday and what I've done a couple of other Wednesdays. So the conversation is really going to continue. So if you can, join me here on Tuesday at 7 p.m. for 1 hour. And then I rate out. So there's no long talking. We're going to dive right into it. I'm probably not going to do any housekeeping things. Wednesday, we'll see. And then Sunday I'll pop up. I don't know the topic yet. I have 4 different topics that I want to speak to. I'm not really sure where I want to go with it. So those of you who are not already doing so, like a broken record, follow me on Instagram, follow me on YouTube, follow me on TikTok, although I'm not officially using it yet. Hopefully you're already following me here on Twitch. I will post what the topic will be. And yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Maybe it will come up here. That will tell me what the topic is going to be the following Sunday. Where do I go after that? I am Feel Soul. You're here and you're still here giving me a whole bunch of lip service in regards to me talking about 50 being old. So those of you who are not already doing so, please follow I Am Feel Soul on Instagram. !Feel if you'd like to get the link for his page on Instagram. What was your words? Tasha P, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. You know what? Every day. Yeah. This lip service right here. And now I'm just going to wash it over with the positive words from Tasha P. Thank you so much, my love. Every day I celebrate, even if I don't do it loud. But I think 50 I'm probably going to do extremely quiet, but extremely deep because it's a milestone. Every day is a milestone, but it's a milestone. Let me scroll. I Am Feel Soul. I saw your message. I didn't reply to your message. If there's anything else you want me to say in regards to the early release of your album, please feel free to drop it in the chat. You are family. You're part of the collective. Those of you who missed it, we actually had a live, Instagram live, with myself, Cam J, and I Am Feel Soul. It went just over 2 hours, about 2 hours. It was a good conversation. I watched the playback. I still need to watch it again and probably screen record and snatch some pieces out of it. It was a pretty dope conversation. So once again, I Am Feel Soul. I actually want to thank you. It's the first time I've done an Instagram live. I really had a good conversation with you and your partners, and I look forward to doing it again. Those of you who may not have heard in a few of these conversations, the early release of variations of the album will also include I Am Feel Soul's full podcast. The conversation that happened on Saturday, I think, will also be included. So more to come. There'll definitely be more to come. We're going to figure out some other things along the way. So as soon as I know, I will share with you. Maya Youngster, I'm hoping that you're having a beautiful weekend. I hope that you are ready for your stream coming up this week. And what else? Let me scroll. 50 equals experience. Whew. Relax mood. I'm struggling today on that. Real talk. Absolute real talk. I wrote in my journal this morning the word acceptance, and a whole bunch of things hit me like a ton of bricks that I didn't even see coming. It changed my tone for the day, which is probably why I didn't get my nap and why I'm just a little bit off my normal buzz. So I apologize. FBOZ, Beautiful Soul, welcome in, welcome in. Those of you who are not already doing so, please be sure to follow FBOZ. And I look forward to FBOZ being a part of the community at some point in time. That's it, no pressure. I'm just going to keep it moving from there. FBOZ, Hi, thank you. You can message me later with the bad words. DJ Foodie, welcome in. Tapisha. This Tapisha name, I don't know if I'm going to get over that Tapisha name right about now. If you're not already doing so, please be sure to follow DJ Foodie. I don't get to catch up with him as much as I would like to, but definitely an awesome streamer. You will enjoy his vibe and his energy. I absolutely endorse. Absolutely endorse. Yeah, I figured, let me put it up there so there's witnesses. See, here's the deal. F-Boz and I are always scheming and scamming about stealing people's hard drives and all this other stuff along the way. So I think it's only right that since she's my partner in crime, potential crime, virtual or otherwise, that I just, do what I just did. With love, peace, and blessings. Italian gal, welcome in, welcome in. You are 2 hours behind us, so hopefully you still have a chance to get your nap in. I hope you're keeping well, beautiful soul. Let me know how you're doing. What else is there? There's some other stuff I wanted to cover off. Okay, yeah, let me go back to my notes. So Facebook. I have a Facebook page that I literally just created like 3 or 4 days ago under the name Tap the Soul. I will be reaching out to folks to add people as soon as I sit down and focus on it. But if I have not gotten to you, please be sure to look me up on Facebook under Tap the Soul. Follow me. I've created a private group there for Behind My Smile. I'm going to talk about that part in a minute. So you're saying I cannot fall asleep on y'all couch? Yeah, you could take a nap. I'll allow it. Yeah, just because you're complaining about being tired yesterday and you had to stream, I'll feel sorry for you today. DJ Foodie, you can take a nap. Just don't drool and don't leave no grease spots, and we're good. Like we're good. So as I was saying, Facebook. What I find here, right, is that we get into these conversations. They're really, really good conversations. I absolutely love them. And then I miss you guys for the next however many days, 6 days or whatever it is. Some of you do reach out to me on Instagram. Please do not feel like you're not allowed to still do so. Reach out to me on Instagram as much as you want to. Some folks send me a whisper here on Twitch. We are a collective. And I don't want you to feel like you can only have a conversation with me about whatever's going on with you. So the purpose of actually turning on a Facebook page under Tap the Soul and a private group specifically for Behind My Smile, it will be by invitation only or by approval of myself. And at some point, I'll figure out the rest of it. But the goal is just to have us here. Yeah, keeping your mouth locked is a good idea because people like me will like throw stuff and see where it lands, playing my basketball toss practice, right? So the goal for that channel is to allow for us to continue this conversation throughout the week. I don't want us to feel like we have to wait to reconnect on a Sunday or on a Wednesday if I don't have a guest. I would like us to start having some fluid conversations. So as I keep building that, I will keep sharing that information. I'll put the link on my Instagram. I'll put the link here when I'm up and ready to do so. Speaking of Behind My Smile, right now you are seeing the old overlay. There will be a new overlay. I've actually changed the logo on Behind My Smile. As much as I'm enjoying the mask, because you say what's behind the smile, I really want us to focus on love. I am always saying from the soul. I used to say from the soul with love way back in the day, way before Twitch. What I'd like to get to is every time we have these conversations, whether we're happy, sad, indifferent, whatever it is, that we kind of remember that the core to get back to is love and from our soul. So changing the logo and changing our mentality around that is really going to be my drive and my focus. I've said it a couple streams ago, where as much as I want us to let go, release, get the negative side out of us, I want us to always try to find the happy, right? Every bad situation is something good. So for me, it's really important if there's a way that we can try to find that happy, share that happy amongst all of us. So there will be more to come around that. I'm kind of just doing a rebranding in flight, just going with the energy and the flow of everything. So Behind My Smile on Facebook, private page coming soon. It's there. I just haven't done anything with it yet, but I will. If you're interested, find me on Facebook. If you have any ideas and suggestions, because those of you who use private groups might give me some tips and tricks. It's not my area, but I do want to keep an area for us to talk, the collective. So I've talked about Facebook, something that comes up a lot, and I've kind of tinkered around it and kind of skipped over it. And then I've talked about it with some few folks off stream, book club. So I am interested in doing a book club. I already know that the full collective, those of you here, those of you that's going to catch a replay, may not be interested in doing a book club. So I have a couple books in mind. And what I will do, I think I'm going to wait until the new year, because once we get into December and all of that stuff, people start to slow down and unwind. I'm going to use that time to put some work in, and then I'll reach out and let you guys know what my thoughts are. But if you are interested in the book club, let me know. I do know a few of you sent me, two people sent me an email, Instagram message this week asking about the book club, and I didn't have an answer for them because I'm still trying to figure out how do I want to mobilize it. So book club is coming. Private group is already there. We've talked about the raids. We talked about the Instagram live that I did with I Am Feel Soul. It's there for 30 days on our pages. Please go ahead and check it out. It's fun. I think you'll enjoy the conversation. A lot of what was talked about there is what we talk about here, and then a couple layers deeper. So I think you will enjoy the dialogue. Today's acceptance. As I stated, and I'm just going to close this notebook because I think I'm good with all of the to-dos that I wanted to mention. Anything else that I didn't mention, Apple's going to post it and then make me look like a rock star. So we're going to be good there. So the journal. This afternoon, I was sitting in quiet, got into a conversation or two, and then sitting in more quiet. And that's probably why the day this kind of left me. But my focus was on acceptance. Those of you here right now that are comfortable, what does acceptance mean to you? And it's a loaded word on purpose. I did not want to steer anybody in one direction or another because the word could mean very different things depending on how you view it, where you are in your, I'm going to say in your life journey. It doesn't have to be a specific journey of sorts, right? So when the word acceptance comes to you, what does that mean? And I'm just looking up at the comment that I missed from Miriam. While I am giving you guys to think about who's going to be brave enough to type what you think. You like the idea of the first part? Okay, that's good. The book club. Yeah, the book club is a hard one, and that's why I don't want anybody to feel like they're pressured. Even for myself, you guys saw my bookshelf. There's a lot of books on that shelf that still need to be read that I've purchased a while ago. But I want to force myself to get back into that reading flow because I actually really enjoy the flow of reading. I enjoy, I've got my little Post-its. Then, of course, over here, I got my highlighter. There's always some words of wisdom, and it's not always a self-help type of book. Sometimes it really is, the stuff that you don't talk about in public that you read. Yes, I have read the 50 Shades of Grey book series, whatever. I have read Twilight, right? So I'm a book reader, and I prefer paper over audio files, audiobook, or soft copies of like Kobo or whatever. But everybody has their own choice. For me, I just think it's really important that we're just reading something. You're stimulating your mind, right? So if you're interested, Maya Youngster, you're in for the book club. I do have you on Instagram, so I'll be in touch with you and I'll shoot you a message and we can see what we can pull together. And it doesn't have to, it's just a couple of us. We can figure out what our own commitment timeline is and just kind of go from there. But I think it wouldn't be a bad idea. Thank you, Apple. What does acceptance mean to you? I have a list that I want to read, haven't gotten to it yet. Same. I also have a Goodreads page, but it's like I haven't looked at it in probably like a year. I usually go to Indigo, the bookstore here in Canada, and I'll mark all the books I want to read, look at the reviews, and I'll say want to buy, and that list looks ridiculous. I used to have a reading goal that I used to meet every year, or I'd cram it all in into the month of December. Didn't even set one for this year, I don't think. So yeah, the books will definitely talk about it. I Am Feel Soul, awareness of progress and accountability for every aspect of my life and my relationships with others. Yeah. That awareness is a word within itself. That's a topic. Yeah, Apple, I know. Right now, you're just like, there she goes, pulling up another topic. Yeah, it would be good motivation, the books, right? Absolutely. I haven't accepted the situation. Italian gal. It's good to know that you haven't accepted it because it gives you something to continue to work towards. And I'm trying to be respectful, right? So, I know, right? So it's okay that you're not. Absolutely. And I'm saying that because I think it's important to say that. You need to hear that from somebody outside of your family and your friends locally, right? Your friend a couple of provinces away is telling you that. Yeah. Acceptance, no inner conflicts, letting go, release. Yeah. Sometimes I felt it like it was settling. And I'm saying that because I wrote it in my journal. I'm trying to be truthful to you guys. I wrote some other stuff in the journal. I don't know if I'm going to share that right now. We'll see. No inner conflicts, letting go, release. Yeah. Acknowledging a situation and deciding where to go after that. Yeah. Yeah. I'm seeing the letting go a lot. Apple, isn't that interesting? Letting go was supposed to be a topic like 3 topics ago, and I wasn't ready to get into it yet. And it's coming. So it's coming. That might be next week Sunday's topic, letting go. To me, it means letting go, accepting what it is, what is. Tasha P, I'm struggling with that. And that's pretty much what I wrote in my journal. And I got a few layers in, right? I'm accepting that I'm going to share, right? So I'm accepting that I do and I don't love my job. This is my career of 20 some odd years that I have never seen as a job. I'm now calling it a job. That's telling for me. That's concerning for me. It's telling for me. But I'm finally getting to that point of acceptance that I need to do a little bit more digging on that space to figure out the whys and the what do I do about it. I'm finally accepting that I have diabetes, and I'm saying that loud right now. And I know someone like Olax is just like, wow, she's saying it. The other day was World Diabetes Day. I usually don't follow these things. Somebody else who has diabetes within our community sent me a message, and I posted it on my Instagram. And I'm usually not that public about it. I've had to say something here because, the censor has gone off. I figured out how to turn it off so you guys won't hear it if it is going off, but I'm okay. But it's not something that I have absorbed really well. I have looked at it as a disease that has taken over my life when I can live a fully normal life. So accepting that has been a challenge for me. I'm going to keep saying some more because I want to keep sharing where I am, because hopefully it's going to help me as much as it's helping you. Joe, I always view it as my acceptance of myself, regardless of how others accept it or not. Good evening, Joe. Welcome in. Thank you for joining us. We are talking about acceptance. I'm impatient on some of that. I think I want people to just get it. Just get it, understand it. Let me be myself. Let me do my thing. Must be something off with my ears. I've never heard your sensor kick off. Olax, like you opened yourself wide up right there, and there's a couple of jabs that I can throw at you, but then I'm going to have to be like on alert on my phone from your message in response to that. But it has gone off. And I have actually played it, the playback, and heard it go off, and I started laughing. I'm just like, oh wow, this is loud. And then I understood why you guys were sending me the message. Those of you who sent me a message, I genuinely love you guys and I appreciate you. I understand why you would react that way, because you don't hear it as much as I hear it. And I hear it because you eat, it goes off. So, but I'm okay. It's actually been doing really well lately. But I figured out how to turn it off where, just in case it does go up in the middle of these sessions, you will not hear it, but I'll still know that it's happening. I've always questioned if acceptance is sometimes a cop-out. Again, I'm speaking for myself. I'm not saying any of you who's put your comments there. DJ Chris Camouflage, welcome in. We are talking about acceptance tonight and what the word actually means to each of you. And it is a loaded word. I do know we're going to have more than one conversation about this. Apple, I don't know if this will be the next VIP that will be a part of, the access and boundaries part, but I have a feeling that this is one of those topics that we can definitely dig into a few different layers of it, and we can go multiple directions on it. But I really just wanted to just kind of throw it in here and see how you gravitated to the word, right? So the reason why I said a cop-out is sometimes it's easier to, there's two folds to this. Sometimes for me, I've found that it's easier just to accept a situation where I am. Yeah, Apple, you did mention that earlier. I think I wasn't sure if it'd really be that hefty of a topic. You know, when you know, but you're not sure. But then I was going through it all evening just within myself. And I'm thinking, if I'm going through it within myself here, what are other people going through, right? That's going through their own things in their own journey. So for me, I've gone through various scenarios recently, real time. And I had to take the path of, okay, I'm going to accept it. And let me take this comment off. Yeah, it can be a cop-out if it's a defense mechanism and used as a guise. Yeah, and that's exactly where it's going, right? So sometimes it's easier to just say, okay, I've accepted it. And then you run in the next direction as opposed to actually peeling off a few of the layers, right? And I know for me, two scenarios today. Actually want to peel off the layers, put on some gloves and fight, but that's not the path. And that's where I just have to accept that things shift and change, and I have to grow with and move with the change. Yeah, that's what I'll say there. That's what I'm going to say there. T.E. Dennis, let's catch your comment. My acceptance of others' opinions. I have not put any of others' opinions into consideration. It is what it is. The importance level is what has changed. Yeah, I see where you're going with that. Yes, I know. I probably butchered it when I was reading it. But the opinions of others, the acceptance of it, I'm still there. I'm still there. I'm still there. As we age, health becomes our highest priority. So your acceptance and willingness to speak freely shows how much you've accepted within yourself. Joe, yeah. And it took actually probably a couple of knocks upside of the head from Simply Patty, because I went through, I'm going to share a little bit more, I guess. I'm turning 50 on Wednesday, right? A healthy 50 or a sick 50, doesn't matter. It's the number. When you start getting to certain ages, most of us are in that age bracket of some sort, your life starts to look really different from your 20s and your 30s. Thank God, because some of the things I did in my 20s, I don't want to still be trying to do in my 50s or even my 40s, to be honest with you. But ageism starts to play a part. And I've talked about this with a few people. I've had this in a few conversations in Instagram chats. As you start to age, your life starts to look really different than the goal that you had for yourself, or just life. Like, and I'd hate the words life is lifing, but when life is lifing, things start to take a turn and a pivot, regardless of the path you really wanted to go. So to get to the point now, having to deal with illness, I actually just shut down. I'm just like, well, I have diabetes. Like, I can't have a normal life. I'm not in a severe state. So yeah, I was being over dramatic about it. And I had to learn to not let the disease control me. And I'm sharing that because I noticed the last couple of conversations that we've had with guests, or even just amongst us, we've been sharing and talking about health. And I do want to have more health conversations. I just want to make sure it's in the right form, in the right space, and being respectful and protective of everybody who's going through their different journeys, who may or may not want to speak about it here in this forum. Tasha P, acceptance is recognizing some things you can't change, no matter how you may want to. Can you get out of my journal, please, Tasha P? Can you get out of my journal, please, and thank you. That's the biggest struggle for me. The biggest struggle for me is accepting the fact that I have to accept that there's some things that will not change no matter how much I want them to. And it's hard. It's like a cycle, right? Like, I'm acknowledging it. I'm aware of it. So I'm giving myself growth for getting to that point. But to accept it and to be a full resolve, like, I'm okay. Yeah, I take it on a day by day, or sometimes an hour to hour, depending on the scenario and the situation. But yes, you've been nosing in my journal, and I appreciate you and I like you, but no. I do like that we're sharing the same thoughts, though. It is an unfortunate truth. Yeah. So you thought the same thing that that Joe was talking about earlier. Yeah. And you know what's interesting? Thank you, Chris Camouflage. Thank you. It is easier said than done. So probably about a week ago, I was in a conversation with a dear friend, and there was silence. And that word was just ringing in my ears. It had nothing to really do with the conversation, but I just couldn't shake the word. I didn't even know if I was going to bring the word here in dialogue, but it just felt like I'm going through a series of acceptance. I'm going through the acceptance that I'm turning 50 in a couple of days. That within itself, I'm still a child. Like, you guys interact with me. And I don't know what 50 is supposed to look like, but I don't know if I look like what 50 is supposed to look like. I'm just going to go with that. But as we talk about acceptance, some of the things that I've also had to accept is just even where I am today. And it's not even about the health, the job. You know, I wrote some stuff down. So like acceptance overall about the home life, myself, work, you know, for those of you with partners, you know, whether it's the partner with him, the partner with her, your family, your friends, almost every single one of those, you can sit there and have a conversation about where you are in the level of acceptance of those relationships. And even that is something to unpack because it is varying, right? Joe, I know that you've talked about going through the journey while you're still dealing with some conflicts, and I keep talking about the only way out is through. And it's so easy to say it. It's easy to write it on the Post-it note that's on my mirror or in my wallet. But it doesn't make it, Italian girl, to your point, it is easier said than done. And that's why having us here and we're talking like this, it just makes it somewhat more comforting to go through. Those of you who have figured out to take that path of acceptance on something that you cannot change, do you then sit there with regret? You wish you never. I'm trying to think of other words because I know that a lot of us, we don't want to live with regrets. Let me hydrate 1 moment. You have the experience of whatever. You have to accept where the experience has taken you to wherever. I know some people, and I've done that in my younger years, where I would be like, oh, I wish I never went to blah, 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 because then that wouldn't have happened. Okay, but it wouldn't have got me to where I am now. But that's just nurturing and growth that's gotten me to appreciate that. So I don't know if any of you have had those moments where you're going through that acceptance and you're trying to determine, is it really acceptance? Is it a cop-out? And then do you sit with any regret, remorse, wish you didn't type of situations? Feel so. Let me pin your comment. Listen, I'm still trying to accept that some people do not have the same information as me. I'm still navigating that part because I'd never look at myself as above anyone. Yeah. Technically, we all have access to the same information for the most part, right? There are some that I will say that probably may be a little less fortunate on having the ease of the information get to them. But a lot of the bare bones of what we need to survive, we don't need social media. We don't need textbooks. It really is sitting already within us. We just have to pay attention to it and then navigate how we're supposed to navigate. And I know I talked about this in the conversation that we had on Friday. If you speak with too much confidence, people automatically categorize that as arrogance, right? And that's also the challenge. And that's where you get into, well, I'm not going to dim my light or my intelligence to make somebody else feel safe. But yeah, it happens. It happens. It happens. It happens. Maya Youngster, no regrets because it made me who I am now. If I can't change it, I find the positive in it. Yeah, I'm working on that. I am working on that. There's some situations that I have to accept it is where it is. There's no opportunity for change. And I'm not seeing it as a lens to cop out from being motivated to continue, but still appreciate the journey that has been experienced. And that is sometimes hard, right? I have let you in because I know there's no judgment and just actually truly heartfelt messages. Oh, yeah, it is. You're another one. Hold on, let me see. Where's my phone? Let me do this. This one. Oh, wait, hold on. Pressing the wrong buttons, my bad. Italian gal, this one is also for you. There you go. I'll save that comment for another day. Save what comment for another day? Chris Camouflage, please feel free to drop your comment here. If we don't like it, we'll say something differently, but yeah, this is a safe zone. Drop your comment if you want to. Acceptance can either strengthen you or have you face those truths you avoided to acknowledge. Yeah. Some of the acceptance that I put myself through today, writing this down in my journal, scared me. Yeah. And I really feel like, yeah, it scared me. It scared me to know that it's taken me this long to get to this point. And I know it's not, there's no timer, right? But it's just for me, it kind of hit me that I got to this point to realize and acknowledge the different scenarios. When I say it scared me mainly because I feel like I still have myself on a timetable that I should not have myself on. And I'm trying to make sure I stay in a fluid state of not judging myself for how far I am or am not according to myself. Like I'm in competition with myself. And sometimes that is not a good thing because you could be your worst critic, right? Yeah, definitely scared me. Yeah. That's the frustration for you. But you know what, Feel Soul? I think you've got yourself in a way where you don't really seem intimidated by much. That's a compliment. Just saying. Yeah. I'm just thinking about all the sass that happens between you and I. It's a beautiful thing. It scares you because you see it on paper, or that you wrote it on paper before you accept it. Ooh, Olax. Ew, that's ugly. Um, yeah, that I had to write it down on paper. And I'm going to tie this back. Nikki MP, welcome in, sweetheart. It's nice of you to join us here. We're talking about acceptance and what does that word mean for you. And as you can see, if you're listening to the chat, go along here. It means a lot of varying things to a lot of us. There is some common ground, but thank you for being here. I hope that you are hydrated, you've gotten some food, you were rested, because I know that you guys were modding earlier. So I've mentioned it about writing things down. I know the last time I was here, and I'm telling you guys, still playing with the Post-it notes. I don't know, there's a thing here. When I'm in thought, right? And I talked about the importance of writing it down. And I've had this conversation with a few folks as well, where I say, like, you can have a whole bunch of thoughts going on in your head, but the minute you write it down on paper, like pen to paper, pencil to paper, it holds a different amount of weight than it does just typing it on a screen. And I'm not knocking anybody who chooses, a virtual journal versus writing with pen and paper, but writing down the words and looking at the words, yeah, it scared me and it hit different. Like, it wasn't, because I can no longer just ignore it or have it as a passing thought in my brain, just like, thought about it, move it along, and it go to think about something else. Now it's directed. I'm literally looking down at my journal right now. It's staring me in my face. And then I have to find the acceptance on how I came to take that acknowledgement and not punish myself or beat myself up about it either, right? Let me continue scrolling because I know I'm missing comments here. Acceptance is hard for me. Olax, that comment is going to stick with me for a minute. Yeah, we're going to talk about that one later. Thank you for that. I needed that one. Acceptance is hard for me when I'm always trying to control or strategically plan things out for me to get to a point that I need to accept what will be. But we all do that, right? I think I asked you guys a couple of weeks ago who does the 5-year plan. I know there's a few of us that write these things down. It would be nice too, right? The last couple of days, I've been writing down all the things I want to do with the channel, right? I talked about it already, changing the logo, the Facebook page, this, that, and whatever. But there's so much more behind that has nothing to do with the administrative side of it. It's just the energy, the flow, the thought. And then things aren't going my way. I don't have enough time in the day to do the corporate job, my personal life, as well as doing this. And I want to do all of them. I don't want to give anything up. And then there's the other stuff that I don't want to talk about with you guys here. The personal life stuff, right? Like, it's not even about strategizing or scheming or anything. You just, when things are flowing in a direction, you want it to continue going in that direction, and then things change. And I think a few of you made the comment before, accepting the point that it changes in a way that you cannot change it beyond where it's changed to. And that's frustrating, especially for people like me who like try to control, navigate, understand everything that's happening. I'm not a fan of surprises. So there's just a lot of that stuff that will happen. And I'm like, okay, now I have to pivot. Yeah, no, you are never scared. Yeah, I must say your clapbacks with me, you didn't skip a beat. Like, I think there was supposed to be a probation period between us, I Feel Soul, because you just like dove right in. I'd rather type on a computer than write on a piece of paper. Why is that, Chris Camouflage? I'm curious. Why is that? Like, I will be honest with you. Typing on a screen is becoming a lot easier for me because, when I see that red squiggly, I realize how illiterate I'm becoming. But there's times I'll write a word down in my notebook or, my workbook or whatever that I'm doing. And I'll look at the word and I'm just like, but did I spell that right? And these are like basic words. I'm not talking about 4-syllable words or anything like that. I'm just like, this doesn't look right. And because we're so used to seeing the words typed on a screen, that it does really look different. So yeah, it's writing down is key. They talk about it all the time, right? I have accepted the fact you can't please everyone and not everyone will like you, but it's important to be good to yourself. Tasha, we talked about the journal peaking, right? We talked about that? Yeah. Accepting who you are and not being able to please everyone I'm going to say for me, that was a struggle for a long time. And I do still struggle with it sometimes. When I did my in conversation, somebody had asked me about what am I looking forward to being 50. And I said to be unapologetically myself. No holding back, no coiling away because somebody thinks Tap the Soul is too much or too little or whatever variation of complaints that, come my way either in a gossip or directly. Own the truth of who I am, own the truth of how I operate, and own that in a way that is not disrespectful to other people, and definitely not disrespectful to myself. And I think I've been doing myself a disservice. And I know some of you have talked about this in other streams where you don't show your true self because of the response of other people. You're cheating yourself, right? Like and it's easy for me to say that right now because I'm in a good space. Give me another 20 minutes when I turn off this camera. I'm probably going to be in a different space because I am juggling with acceptance on just me right now, where I am in this journey, and accepting what I've accepted is the other piece, right? And that is just like a whole domino effect of sorts. Let me keep scrolling. Pivot is on the list as well. Yeah. Pivot, and it's interesting because Dr. Dady Priest mentioned it the other day in conversation, and I have it written down on a post-it note. The reason why I haven't touched on the pivot yet, for me, I'm still unpacking. So from I talked about like the reset and reflection, last Sunday I was on a take a moment because I really had to just acknowledge where I was and where I wasn't in my own timeline for what I'm trying to do for my own wellness. I want to make sure that I've unpacked as much as I feel I need to understand whether I'm trying to rebuild, build new, burn, right? So sometimes you really just have to burn, cut, and just let it go. And I'm still working my way through that. And then even understanding what does that look like for me, right? And I know I said it last week, like when we talk about these things, what is the vision that you have for yourself? Yes, I'm still playing with the post-it notes. What's the vision that you have for yourself? If you were to sit down, whether it's pen and paper on a keyboard, Chris, I totally get you. It is faster and easier. And I'm telling you that spell check makes me feel kind of dumb and kind of smart when I don't see the red squiggly. Then I just kind of hope that it's actually working. When you think about the vision of your life, where you are now, whether you have the 5-year plan, the 2-month plan, the end of the year, what do you want to do in 2024, whatever it looks like for you, do you actually sit down and envision it? And how do you make sure that you stay on track? I know, Phil, so you mentioned that you kind of write it down, you throw it in the box, you lock it. And I already said, I want to pick the lock. I want to pick the lock and go back and double check things. But the clearer I get about the vision for myself, the easier this journey will be for me. Not easy as in I can just skip through it, but the clarity will come a lot easier. But because I'm still navigating, sometimes flapping in the breeze, navigating, trying to figure it out, sometimes you just have to sit in silence. You just need that quiet to really just hone in and figure it out. You know what I mean? T.E. Dennis, sorry, I put your comment up here. Let me read your comment. So flip it. Focus on the upside. Accept myself for who I am. Accept my strength I've found to navigate through the change in my life of diabetes. That's right. You have diabetes as well. Yes. I had to accept the fact of being laid off from the music industry, my dream industry. It gave me the strength to doing on my own. That change and acceptance levels you up. It does. It does. And for me, I'd say that I went through, and I'm still going through, I talk about it openly, the loss of what has left, right? So whether it's through an argument, a parting of ways, the journey has just come to an end, the situation, the scenario, whatever it is, that void of that person or that situation, I'm never trying to fill it or replace it, but I need to heal through it, right? You go through that loss, that gap of time of how you would normally invest your time in that situation. The job, for example, right? Unfortunate for you to go through being laid off in the industry, but you found the upside of, that's your dream industry. A lot of people would not make their way out of that scenario in a healthy way, and you figured out how to do so. So exactly, you celebrate that enjoyment, right? I want to scroll because I know I'm missing comments, and I'm sorry about that. I love typing. I hate writing. I used to love how I write, but now it just looks like chicken scratch. shamefully. Nikki Ann, let me catch your comment, sweetheart. My company was just bought and I have anxiety. The not knowing is scary, but I need to be in a place that better days may be coming. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's interesting because I remember so I used to work for Hewlett Packard before it turned into whatever it turned to, donkey years ago. I was barely 2 months on the job under a contractor role. Um, and they merged with Compaq. And I'm hoping you guys are old enough to know these company names, by the way. And they were talking about laying off. And Nikki Ann, like they had people that were just getting called into the HR training room and you just knew, just take your purse with you because you weren't going back. Like they started to realize they couldn't mask it anymore. And I was just like, I just got here. Like I literally just got here and now I'm going to be out of a job. And they kept on telling me that I don't count because I'm not on their payroll. And I had to live with that joy of knowing that I wasn't on the payroll while I'm watching people that I'm just starting to meet be a part of my team get laid off. Now it worked out. I didn't get laid off, but that wasn't easy for me. Like the anxiety of knowing that I just started getting the paycheck and the paycheck may be gone. Like it just, yeah. But the upside to that is that there are better opportunities that will come, and it will challenge you, right? Because the company getting bought, it's usually a shitstorm, right? Those of us who have been through that, and I'm sure you've probably been through it before, it's such a shitstorm of chaos trying to, merge companies and separate companies. It takes a while before they really start to figure it out. So hopefully you have the tools in place that you can stay grounded so it doesn't disrupt your space. Do you know what I mean? OLOX, yeah, there you go. That happened to my company. The kind of movements always leaves you with, yeah. And you have to believe it will work out. Like I know some people at HP, and that's again years ago, like they got laid off and they had 15 years of service. They got a nice package. If you're around one or two of the layoffs, you got a nice package. And many of those actually got hired back to be consultants, getting paid more than they were getting paid in an annual salary. So it even still worked out. It was weird because you laid them off and then you still had to bring them back because they had all the skills and knowledge to get us through. But again, it still worked out. And some people took that money and took early retirement and moved to the cottage before cottage prices got crazy. There is always, and I always say it, you guys always hear me say it, out of every bad situation, something good always comes out of it. So I'm sending you love, and I'm going to do this as well because, it's only right that I do this. This one's for you. There you go. There you go. Let me scroll. The unknown is, yeah, I don't like the unknown. So I say I don't like surprises. Try to adopt. Life happens for you, not to you. Yeah, I think that was the words that Simply Patty actually said to me. I mean, she didn't physically thump me upside of the head, but I'm sure she wants to, and I'm hoping she's not in this chat to hear this right now. But yeah, it's easy to say that, right? Like, yes, I'm playing with the Post-it notes. It's one of those where, and I say it, I turn on this channel and we sit here and we have these conversations, right? And I don't have all the answers. A lot of this, I'm looking for you guys to help me cope as I'm going through my own journey of life. And it's comforting in a sick way that I am not alone. But it tells me that we are all here to support each other. Which is why I get back to those comments of writing it down to really figure it out, because it's easy for me to say what I'm saying here right now, but I am actually writing it down, like in terms of where my vision is and where my vision is not. And then I get frustrated because I'm thinking, am I not supposed to have this like sorted out? And I wrote it in my journal. I need to accept where I am right now, regardless of where I think I'm supposed to be. And I'm pretty sure that will be a Post-it note later, and that will be placed on my monitor just to remind me about that, right? So again, as we talk about the word acceptance, let me pin this here. To UT and the community, if it has not been stated, we have come a long way to become who we are, and we should be damn proud of all the challenges we overcome. Yeah. And we don't do that enough, right? And I know I said this to somebody the other day because they were talking about, I've been with them for 25. Whoa. Yeah. See, Nikki Ann, real talk. And please, I hope you're not going to find offense to this. You are at such an advantage right now because you have the years of service, because right now they're looking at a list and they're looking at your name and how long you've been there. and they're doing the math, and they're probably going to not want to do what they would like to if they wanted to, if they're trying to trim, because they're going to cost them too much money. The flip side of that, because I've seen companies do it, they will perplex you to make you not want to stay there. So if you go through either one of those scenarios or thoughts, stay strong and stay firm. And just remember, there's a whole community of people around to support you in real life as well as here, and get you through. But yeah, look at it as a plus. 25 years of service. Right now, they're just like, yeah, nah, we don't want to touch her. She's staying. You're digging into their bank account deep. Yeah. Italian gal, you were typing earlier. Sorry. Kind of like writer's block. The comment I mentioned before. Oh, that's a new picture of you. Look at you. Sorry, I'm so used to you having the bike on the screen. Yeah. I have to keep reminding, change can be good and what we need as a motivation. I always say it's a chuck off of the cliff, Nikki Ann. Like sometimes the people around you will chuck you off of a cliff and you're just like, thank you, because you realize that that's what you needed. And it's the same way for this, right? If there was something you ever wanted to do, and that's what Twitch and lockdown did for a lot of people, right? A lot of people would not have changed their life. It's because COVID and the lockdown forced them to change their life. And you hear people talk about it in stories and Twitch all the time, right? Those who became overnight DJs, which some people complain about, but I commend. If it took lockdown and Twitch for you to decide that you have a passion to DJ and you now DJ, it's a good thing. You know, you keep working on your craft so you're good, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing. But yeah, you expensive to them right now. Put your head on your pillow every night and smile, because you are definitely blessed right there. What I mentioned before. Okay, so I know we've been talking, and the call to action, right? I'm going to start trying to throw these in there. The call to action on this one is really just to think a little bit more about what acceptance means to you. This conversation will come up. I'm debating if that will be next week, Sunday's conversation part 2, and I'll go a couple layers in, or not. Apple, I know you'll give me your feedback, so we'll talk about it later and then help me decide. We'll go with that, yeah? As I struggle, being vulnerable, talking about where I am trying to accept where I am in this journey that I'm in right now, I want to commend each and every single one of you for acknowledging where you are, where you aren't, doing the big things and the little things and the things you don't even realize that you're doing. That's getting you to that next step of peace, that next point of happiness, joy. And they're simple words, but they're so hard for us to navigate for some reason, because we get caught up in how life steers us. And that's the challenge, right? Like, yeah, I'm thinking right now because there's something else I wanted to say, but I don't want to say it in the stream. Does anybody have any questions? Sorry, Nikki Ann, let me take I like your comment though. I have to keep reminding that change can be good. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the first point of saying that sometimes I wonder if the acceptance is a cop-out is something that I have to deal with as well, right? Like there's some things where I said I've accepted it, and then I have to go through another layer, not everything, but some things I know I need to ask myself, why? Why have I accepted it? Did I truly accept it, or am I using it as a cop-out? And Feel Soul, I know that you mentioned that as well, right? I really got to get that Facebook private group going. I'm going to try to see if I can get that going this week, because I'd love to continue having this conversation with you guys collectively, and not wait until next week, Sunday. As I said, on Tuesday, let me do this in the meantime while I finish collecting my thoughts to wrap us up. On Tuesday, let me do this. On Tuesday, I'm going to be, it's the next time I'm on for the rest of the week, more or less, maybe. Kicks by 6, Drop the Mic. It's a first raid, and it will be focused on mental health. This conversation is definitely in line with everything that we've been talking about for weeks, and definitely in line with me participating in this raid, which is why when she reached out, I said yes without hesitation. She is starting this raid at 11 a.m. Eastern. There are a number of folks there that you see and know, or that you do not know. I am going to try to catch as many of these folks as possible so I can learn what their thoughts and takes are around mental health. I will be here at 7 p.m. Eastern for 1 hour, and then we will definitely raid over to the last person on the raid. And I'm sure the conversation will continue from there, right? Let me continue scrolling. I'm going to scroll. Hearts and hugs for everyone. Thank you, big sis. I appreciate that. Sometimes I need to hear, I want to pin that. Sometimes I just need to hear the right thing from someone to help me focus. Yeah. And that's what it is, right? Sometimes I just feel like I'm supposed to have this knowledge and have my shit together. Not even for the stream, like just for myself at this point in my life, the journey that I've been through, the experience, as Relaxed Mood mentioned. And then the reality hits them. It's like, yeah, dumb, you're not there yet. And you're not supposed to be there yet. And why are you trying to rush to get somewhere that you haven't figured out? So when we talk about letting go, which is a topic that will be coming up, we'll definitely dig into that more. And when we get to the topic of pivot, we'll talk about that more. For me, I know I'm still unpacking. I'm still figuring out and I'm still unpacking. So I don't know what I'm pivoting from or to because I haven't figured it out yet. If anybody is already there, by all means, this is always open conversation, share, right? But for me, I know I'm not there yet, which is why for me to talk about pivot, it would really be an open conversation for us to share, learn from each other, and help shove me off a cliff, right? To keep moving forward. And that's what we have to just keep remembering to do, right? Just keep moving forward. So these discussions are good. Thank you. We need the reminders. Yeah. And sometimes the reminder is not the reminder in your phone. It is another human person reaching out and just letting you know that where you are right now, good or bad, you are okay. And if you are not okay, you are still okay because you are not alone. And that's why I'll always say that we're a collective. You like the private chat idea. If you are on Facebook, let me know. You have me on Instagram, send me a whisper. Anybody else, Tap the Soul on Facebook. I think T.E. Dennis, I already have connected with you, and Apple Blossom have connected with you. This week, I will work on getting the private group up and running, and I will share it. It will be invitation only. So if I don't know who you are, I'm not adding you. I want to make sure I'm keeping it as intimate as possible. It will grow, right? Because some people don't show up on a Sunday, they show up on a Wednesday. Either way, I just want to make sure that it's people that are meant to be there to socialize. If you carry on and disrespect anybody in that private group, yeah, you're out, and you're not just out from the group, but you'll probably be out from this channel as well. I really want to know that anybody who's in that group chat or here understands that it is a safe space. You are not judged. I might jokingly judge you from time to time, but not about the personal stuff. It's just the judging. Like Olok's not hearing the sensor go off, but everybody else heard it. Yeah, I don't know. What were you doing? Were you napping, Olok's, why you did not hear it? I have another message for you later, by the way. So as we wrap up, Apple, I have not read any messages if you sent me one. Apple Blossom, you can decide where we are going. While I do this, while I get ready to wrap up, I am Feel Soul. If you're still here, let me know. Let me know if there's any other information you want to drop while I hydrate. Let me hydrate. If there's any other information that we want to drop, let me know. Exclamation mark Feel. December 14th, the Forever Interlude, it drops officially. There will be an early release. The early release will have a series of podcasts. Check your message first. I saw the message. I don't know how we would operationalize it. So we'll talk about that part. That would be a cool idea though, Feel So. We'll see. I don't know how to do it without dealing with the legalities of shit. So yeah, let's see if there's a way that we can do it. But we will keep you posted. I am looking forward to having people listen to the album, the variations of it. There's a lot to learn and unpack. It talks about male healing, and I think there is something for everyone, male and female, that is for sure. The Forever Interlude, yeah. Our conversation was really dope on Saturday. I'm going to say it again. Those of you who are on Instagram, check me out or check out I Am Feel Soul. The conversation is on both of our pages. It's over 2 hours of dialogue. The first part of it, trying to get me in the room, typical technology stuff that always happens. But a good good wealth of information in there. Not just about me. It's just about talking about everything that we're talking about here. Those of you who enjoy this conversation will definitely enjoy that Instagram live. So I've talked about it already. On Tuesday is the next time that I'll be turning on for the Drop the Mic raid. Wednesday, the birthday. I don't know. I kind of feel like I want to show up on a Wednesday and just say hi, just to say hi, even for an hour. We'll see how the time goes, but it will probably not be at 6 o'clock in the evening. It might be earlier. We'll see. And I'm not planning to be anywhere else on Twitch. The only place I plan to be is turning on my channel if I show up on my birthday, and then I'm out. I just want to make sure you guys all know. So don't look for me anywhere else because I won't be anywhere else. The following Sunday, look for me on Instagram. I will post what the topic is going to be. On the 29th, the following Wednesday, it's going to be the Born for Music Raid Volume 8. Team Shelling, Selected Jinx, Chris Stubbs, DJ Smiles, and DJ Swirls. There's so many other DJs that I wanted to put on this, but I had to keep it to 5 DJs because I did not want to have a full day raid. I just could not do a full day raid. I just really want to take it. I'm really trying to just hone in on what the Born for Music raid is all about, and just taking advantage of the fact that, people were saying I should be doing something for my birthday. So there you go. This is live streamed on YouTube. This is live streamed on Twitch. On YouTube, it's real and posted as soon as it's done. So if there's any part of this that you missed, feel free to go and check it out. There's other conversations that's there. There's other conversations that will continue to be there. Nikki Ann, thank you, beautiful. Thank you, thank you. I'm pretty sure I will probably see you on Tuesday if your DJ turns on after I'm done streaming. And then outside of that, what else? YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, book club, logo changes, brand changes. I'm going to continue evolving this as it just flows. And I'm just going to always say that everything that we do should be coming from a spot in our soul, and it should be coming from love, and we should be finding the positivity. I'm going to start honing in on that more, but I want us to continue to unpack all of the pieces that we need to unpack in order to figure out how do we pivot and how do we continue to move forward. So with that said, I'm going to do the raid out video. So you're not going to see me on screen anymore, but I really want to say from the soul, thank you to each and every single one of you that's shown up. I know that there's some silent listeners. There's a silent listener that gave me an awesome topic idea. We kind of talk about it every time we talk. So I do plan to introduce that as well. And I love the fact that there's silent listeners who do not type in this chat, but do send me Instagram messages. Even if I haven't responded to you, I do see your messages. I love your feedback. I love your ideas. We are a collective, and that's what we're all supposed to be doing together. So on that lovely note, because I feel like I've gone over time a little bit, almost, I will see those of you, if not tomorrow in the Twitch streets, I will see you Tuesday on this channel at 7 p.m. And I'm wishing everybody else peace, love, blessings, a beautiful night. We'll talk soon. And if you ever need someone to talk to, you can find me on all the channels that I mentioned. I am absolutely here for you. Thank you.